Welcome to Section 910, Group 1's Design Team Project. We are Michael Aiden, Virginia Bagley, David Bloom, Haley Kalir, Ruthlyn Cohn, and Sonia Mirza. Today's presentation will be set in the beautiful neighborhood of Fairmount in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Fairmount is geographically positioned within the lower north part of Philadelphia, but still fairly close to the middle of the city. It is bound by major roadways, including the historic Fairmount and Girard Avenues, and geographic features including the Schuylkill River. This river, which was originally named by the Lenni-Lenape people for its hidden confluence with the Delaware River south of the city. The name was later translated into Dutch, which is the name we know today. Beginning in the 17th century, European settlers began to farm the land where the Lenni-Lenape, who were part of the Delaware people, were living. At that time, Fairmount was outside of the city. Fairmount gained its name from the large hill where the Philadelphia Museum of Art now sits. The hill was named literally as a fair, meaning pleasing, and mont, meaning high point. The neighborhood was intended as a sanctuary from the blight of urbanization that was plaguing the cities in the 1800s. However, in 1854, Fairmount was incorporated into Philadelphia. The residents then created various sites that give Fairmount its current distinctive draw that exists to this day. Fairmount Park, Fairmount Waterworks, the Philadelphia Museum of Art, and Eastern State Penitentiary are all examples. The area does face some challenges, however, from the agricultural and mining practices up the river that trickle down to Fairmount to excessive urbanization, both of which have contributed to pollution. Fairmount's population tends to skew towards middle and upper class, younger people who were born in the United States. Fairmount itself is nested within the larger city in many ways. Several examples include the expensive rent costs in Fairmount, which are both a symptom and cause of the city's rising rent and housing crisis. Fairmount schools are part of the larger school district, state, and national education systems. The Waterworks and Eastern State Penitentiary are examples of the many historic sites that give Fairmount and the city its distinctively historic personality. Finally, Fairmount Park is a much loved part of the city where citizens from all over gather. It also makes up part of a larger park system and natural environments within the city. When our team learned more about the uniqueness of Fairmount, it made us see the many strengths of the neighborhood and the potential that could be unlocked if we created a learning environment that connected those strengths and was made accessible to all its visitors and residents.
Our learning environment is called Philly Recalc, which stands for Philadelphia Regenerative Corridor of Art, Learning, and Community. So what is Philly Recalc? We envisioned Philly Recalc as a joint task force between the City of Philadelphia, School District of Philadelphia, Philadelphia Museum of Art, SEPTA, the Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce, and the Fairmount Civic Association. In bringing these stakeholders together, we sought to create a mechanism that connects Fairmount's many hearts, from its residents to its schools, from its tourist attractions to its small businesses, and of course its public transit system. The goal is to transform the neighborhood itself into a regenerative and lasting learning environment. To achieve such a lofty goal, we created a mission, purpose, and vision statement for Philly Recalc that would anchor the actions of the task force. The mission of Philly Recalc is to create a regenerative learning environment that honors the past, present, and future of all people in and visiting Fairmount. Fairmount has a strong community presence and very robust tourism industry. To create a regenerative learning environment requires caring about its past to know how it arrived to its present so that it takes actions that lead to a sustainable future. Recalc's purpose is to coordinate the resources of task force members to create a corridor of learning and sustainability for all in the neighborhood living or visiting, so that anyone can find and grow their own potential. Fairmount as a neighborhood has a very clear commercial corridor that begins at the Art Museum and runs along Fairmount Avenue. Recalc seeks to create a larger corridor that brings together the whole neighborhood. Finally, Recalc's vision is to empower the neighborhood with coordinated systems that support, connect, and uplift all community stakeholders and visitors. The mechanism and coordination system for Philly Recalc is through its eponymous app. The Philly Recalc app, whose logo you can see to the right of the slide, has 6 functional areas: internships, pop up events, community education, technology, community arts, and connectivity. I'll hand it off to David, who's going to discuss the technology aspect of Philly Recalc.
The technology arm of the Philly Recalc Education Initiative is a two-pronged approach at teaching important contemporary technology to Fairmount residents of any learning age. The technology arm is just one of 6 branches of the Philly Recalc Education and Public Information approach. The two arms of the technology branch of our efforts are computer technologies and sustainable technologies. By teaching computer technologies, we hope to give young children a head start in school by teaching important computer know-how early on. Kids in the K through 12 age range can use Philly Recalc computer technologies for more practice and to better understand what is or what may not be taught at their local school. For adult learners, our computer technology efforts are important for staying up to date on current computer trends. Familiarization and then hands-on learning of current software platforms like business and simple home economics programs are featured, with more to come as we progress with our program. Training is conducted at our Philadelphia Museum of Art base, with remote and field learning conducted in our state-of-the-art learning trailer. The learning trailer is ADA compliant and fully sustainable with solar and wind generated renewable energy sources. The second of our two arms of the technology branch at Philly Recalc is the Sustainable Technologies branch. That initiative is what we are calling Fairmount Reset. RESET is an acronym for Renewable Energy Source Education Team. Classes will be offered to beginners and advanced students alike at any age range to familiarize and then teach the design, installation, and maintenance of contemporary sustainable technologies. Solar panel arrays, wind and water turbines, electricity and electronics technologies will be taught starting at our launch, with expansion into more complex sustainable technologies planned for the future. All technology courses can be found on our Philly Recalc website and app, with more information available by scanning our QR code at all learning sites. Future plans call for AI-driven information stations to be installed in our learning trailer, where students can ask any question related to our program and to Fairmount sites, and an AI response will be given. VR experiences at all Fairmount sites are another plan for our future technology team initiatives.
The internships part of our program is meant to provide meaningful skill building opportunities that will help to economically uplift the community. The businesses in the community are incentivized to have interns from ages 14 and up. Some of the incentives include that the interns are paid by Recalc, so the businesses don't have to do that out of pocket. Participating businesses are promoted at different pop ups throughout the city. They could have a potentially larger workforce, of course, while they have internships, but also if they decide to keep them on in a more long term fashion. Why would you participate in an internship? Well, people who participate are obviously going to gain that valuable experience. They can try out different types of jobs within the community, especially if you're a younger person. This can help you sort of dip your feet in different places and see what you enjoy. You get paid a minimum of $20 an hour. You make valuable connections within the community. You can gain high school or college credit. Opportunities from long-term employment are also really valuable, as it could uplift the community, not only the individuals but everybody in within Fairmont. Another aspect of recalc is that there will be ongoing classes. This is going to be in conjunction with the schools that are already existing in the neighborhood of Fairmont, but it will also be for community members. So anybody who's not the regular school age can join in on different classes that are being offered in the various museums in Fairmont or at various businesses. This doesn't necessarily, so the internships are more of a long term thing versus the classes. You can pop in once a month for an hour or two and get some new information or practice a new skill from the community members themselves. Additionally, the recalc will be working with the existing schools, as I mentioned, to sort of include more hands-on and more active learning styles within the curriculum. I have some examples here. For example, for math and art, there's a program called Art of Math from the Barnes Foundation. They're making 2D paintings into a 3D art project. In social studies for reading and writing, they can learn about the Lenape, which are the native people to this area. They would be able to go on trips and sort of look through Fairmount Park and do a walking history tour, or they would incorporate it into their actual history classes more in social studies. Science, there's a bunch of conservation programs through the Schuylkill Center, and that is again the river that runs up along the side of Fairmount. Music, in terms of music, they can collaborate with the Philadelphia Orchestra. Physical education, there's so many different programs like the Philadelphia Runner, Legacy Tennis. These are all through Fairmount Park, and just Philly parks in general have partnerships with schools, but the Recalc's mission would be to make it a part of the curriculum already in the schools that are already existing in Fairmont.
The purpose of the Community Arts Department is to make art in all its various forms, whether that be music, mural, painting, anything considered the creative arts. The mission of Fairmont's Community Arts program is to make it accessible, regardless of background, regardless of socioeconomic circumstances. We want to make public spaces a place where people can find solace and inspiration, and to cultivate a sense of belonging. Some of the things we'd like to see in the community arts program are murals. These are large scale creations that reflect the community and provide inspiration. Public art installations, these can be temporary or permanent. These are going to be sculptures, interactive exhibits, multimedia displays, anything that people can engage with that reflects the community as well. Street performances, these are live performances, whether they be music, dance, theater, and public spaces, bring people together, reflecting the various cultural traditions. These events can be in accordance with Heritage Months as well. Community theater groups, this is an opportunity for the community to come together and express themselves. Workshops, classes, skill building sessions. This could be improv, this could be music related, this could be art therapy. The possibilities are endless for the community arts program and the ways in which it can enhance the community.
The pop-ups take place across Fairmount to promote recalc initiatives and highlight local organizations. These organizations may include Fairmount Park Horticultural Center, the Union League, Philly Art Center, Fairmount Waterworks, and the lighting practice at Boathouse Row. To announce pop-ups, we'll use social media, local news broadcasts, local and city newspapers, local radio, and flyers. Each site will have a unique QR code with information on Recalc's initiatives and the community organizations. The code will discuss the what, where, and when, always specific to that day's pop-up. Activities at each site may include a prison tour, Franklin Institute tour, horticultural information, possibly including seed cards, insight to Boathouse Row history from trading ships to the new LED installation, cultural awareness such as the Union League highlighting Fairmount's place in the anti-slavery movement. Events are free to all Fairmount residents. Interns Day events will be held at local businesses, for example, auto mechanics, unions, or other employers. The pop-up's goal is to showcase the business and internship opportunities in Fairmount. Technology Days will be held at local tech-related organizations such as the Mudder Museum, the Franklin Institute, Boathouse Row's LED Lighting Institution. The goal is to highlight Recalc's technology, such as our website and our app, and also to highlight technology used in the neighborhoods, like the lighting project at Boathouse Row. Community Arts Days will be held at Fairmount art locations, such as the Philly Museum of Art or the Philly Arts Center, and community theaters. The goal is to showcase local artists or community projects and Recalc initiatives. Education Days will be held at Fairmount organizations hosting the courses, for example, music taught by the Philly Orchestra, art taught by the Philly Arts Center. The goal of this pop-up is to highlight the courses that will be taught in a real-world setting within Fairmount's businesses and organizations. Connectivity Day. This one is to be held at community locations around Fairmount, for example, the pedestrian bridge, Fairmount Park Horticultural Center, the Union League Hall, etc. The goal is to showcase the many community hubs important to Fairmount. I believe Sonia will be discussing it in more detail on the next presentation.
While creating the app helps connect people to the neighborhood's learning activities online, creating physical infrastructure helps connect people in the neighborhood physically. That's why we created a new pedestrian footbridge that allows visitors to the Art Museum to access Fairmount Avenue's commercial corridor safely without walking through car traffic. This supports the City of Philadelphia's existing Vision Zero initiative, which strives to have zero pedestrian fatalities. We also borrowed a concept from the cities of Baltimore and Washington, D.C., and created a new SEPTA circulator that runs from the north end of the neighborhood to the Art Museum and ending at its far east side. This bus, running every 20 minutes, will have fareless rides that will allow visitors and residents to physically reach the pop-up events, internships, community arts, and classes reliably without financial barriers. Finally, Recalc makes sure to honor Fairmount's past by creating signage that acknowledges Fairmount to be the historical homeland of the Lenni Lenape people, similar to the existing signage at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, shown above as an example. Positioning the sign with the existing statue of Supreme Court Justice John Marshall at the circulator stop outside of the Philadelphia Museum of Art ensures that visitors to the museum will be able to see the sign and learn how the existence of Fairmount comes at the expense of the Lenape people. Philly Recalc respectfully acknowledges and honors all indigenous communities, especially the Lenni Lenape people.
Thank you for viewing our presentation. The next few slides are reference materials that we put together where we addressed the concerns that sparked our imaginations when designing this community and what it would look like. And we wanted to also just kind of show the transition. Where was Fairmount before, and how do we get it to where we'd like it to be? So, as you review the next two slides, take into consideration that we did come together as a group and we came up with problems that we identified and ways to find solutions. Thank you so much for your time, and we hope you enjoyed our presentation.